I'll start by saying, Dennis Gates is a personal friend of mine, and I think he's going to be coaching in a league like the one I coach in very, very soon. He's got a really, really good team, very well organized, and obviously they came in here competing at a level where they were right in position to have success, and I'm also proud of our guys. We obviously have been through a tough stretch, there's no question, trying to figure ourselves out. I think last week's worth of practice helped us gain some offensive confidence, but they were able to expose some of that defensively, particularly with their passing from all 5 spots. But a heck of a college basketball game. I'm sure there are a lot of people that surprised that Oklahoma State went to overtime with Cleveland State, but I'm not. I expected a close game. I wish we would have closed better, in all honesty, in the last 2 minutes when we had a 7-point lead. But that's what veteran teams do. They don't flinch. But our guys didn't flinch either and made enough plays to win the game.
You mentioned kind of they play a really pretty brand of basketball, thought out backdoor cuts. Just kind of, did you expect that coming in? And obviously it's something a veteran team like they have will do to you.
Yeah. I talk about it all the time. I mean, we do a lot. Most everything we do is intentional. I scheduled the game. I don't know, at one point I was trying to fire myself for scheduling the game during the game. But I know that I try to do my best to prepare my team to see as much as we can in the non-conference, so that there's an opportunity that we can draw back on something once the calendar turns and we're playing, Big 12 teams. So tonight was a different style than we've seen offensively for sure. They mixed up defenses a little, but I think because we had answers when they went zone tonight, they didn't play it for extended periods of time, which in my mind is another sign of growth for our team. So I'm not surprised. I knew that that's how they played, but I also knew that we may see that again. And I want our guys to be prepared if we do see it in Big 12 play.
It seemed like you guys stepped into threes more, maybe whenever they were going against someone, made a more concerted effort to get it to the short corner and high post. Do you think that there can be confidence gained from busting his own finally?
No, I mean, there's no question. Again, when you eventually – people can tell you can do something forever, right? And every time you do it, you fail, and then you start to wonder. So having success against it, I think, will give us an ability to go back and say, okay, here are some things we did well. Here's the things that we did well to have success or get a team to not play it for as long a period of time. So I definitely think it's something to build on.
You've seen Avery go fast. Was that the fastest at the end of the regulation there?
It's close. It's close, yeah. But, we practice those situations all the time. Last 4 minutes, last 30 seconds. And, at that time, we knew we were down 1. They were shooting 2 free throws. The situation was going to change with every shot. Either we were going to be down 1, 2, or 3, and we had to make a good decision at that time. Being down 2 gives you more options. You can be able to attack the paint. Knowing teams don't want to foul also, and obviously putting it in a ball in the hands of a kid who's pretty fearless, sometimes to his own detriment, and our team sometimes. But obviously he made a big-time play there.
What did you think of his overall play tonight? I mean, he missed 4 shots. He was real big down the stretch with getting to the basket.
Avery probably played a B game. He really had a bad stretch. He gives up the offensive rebound that leads to a quick basket, and then the 2 turnovers, back-to-back possessions. Then 1K, I think, had one right after that. That was really the bad. He just had a bad 4 possessions. He was really good. He guarded their best player. He made big shots for us. So I thought he was really good.
What about Bryce, too? I know he graduated Saturday, and he kind of played that off, but what does it mean to see Bryce do that, considering how much he doesn't like school, and to come out tonight 2 days later and do what he did?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's hard to believe this because I'm a coach and I get paid to win basketball games, and if I don't win basketball games, it's harder for me to take care of my family. But him graduating means more to me than his 29 points tonight. And if we don't have his 29 points, we lose tonight. But I know that those 29 points aren't going to have the impact on his life that degree will. And so that's why.
you put the ball in his hands more. Is that something you look forward to do more, where he runs the offense more?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it before, he's our best player. There are a lot of other guys who have a lot of talent on our team, but he's got a complete package of skills that no one else has in terms of decision-making, explosive athleticism, shot-making ability, making plays for other people. Then he can do it on the defensive end as well. When he's in a good place, when he's focused and he's playing at his best, I really believe we can compete with anybody. I mean, I wouldn't be afraid to play any team in the country. And if we can get Avery to continue to come along, right? Avery's 3 years younger than Bryce Williams is. Then we got a pretty good dynamic backcourt in terms of scoring and defending.
Would you have expected coming into the year a lineup with Avery, Ice, and Bryce Williams that Bryce would be the primary ball handler?
Yeah. He's the most natural playmaker of the three. Avery's a scorer. I mean, and he's seen enough plays now where he can make the simple reads, but Ice has 1K has a different level of understanding of reads and so yeah, I'm not surprised that in that situation he's a guy that we feel should be initiating offense more than the other two.
Avery's tough stretch kind of there at the end of regulation. What went in the decision to put the ball in his hands with the 6.1 left around? Well,
again, in that situation, you need to have a guy that has a little, not give a how it's going to turn out. I mean, some guys you can't have the ball in their hands. They are afraid to fail in that moment, and they can't have success because of that. I don't think he doesn't care to fail. He doesn't want to fail, but he believes in himself, and he believes he's going to go make a play. He has no reservations about putting his head down. You got to see it. I mean, yeah, it'd be a lot of times, I'd probably say 70% of the time, in that situation, to go get a basket, Avery's going to be the guy.
Bryce, Avery, they talked about you ramping up the intensity of practice this week. You've talked up Cleveland State. We know the two opponents ahead are no joke. How important for you was that? And what kind of went into that decision?
I felt after the Xavier-Wichita stretch that we were kind of getting away from our identity. And as I went back and watched film, we didn't play with the level of commitment to intensity and effort and togetherness that I expect our program to look like. And that's on me. At the end of the day, it's my job to make sure that we play the type of basketball that A, gives us a chance to win, but B, our fans expect us to play. And so there was a clear message sent that this is the expectation, and you can either meet it or you just won't have an opportunity to be a part of what we're doing on the court. And so practice was pretty intense, probably the most intense week of practice that I've had as a head coach. I was sore every day when I left practice. I got some, scrapes and scars on my. There were a lot of loose balls dove on. We saw that tonight in the game. There were a lot of charges taken. We saw that tonight, and I think the message was received.
In overtime, Keelan forced an offensive rebound that Caleb ended up scoring on, and then he had the block on the very next possession. Just kind of what did you think of those hustle plays there?
It's what it's about. It's about when you're on the court, you figure out a way to do what it takes to help your team win. And, those are subtle plays that people can miss easily because he doesn't get the basket. The block is obvious, but he also had a big-time block out on the last possession. And so I'm proud of him for his response. He went through a tough stretch. He wasn't able to play as much last week due to his injury, but he kept better care of his body, was able to give us some big minutes, and obviously made some huge plays down the stretch for us.
What's Bryce Thompson's status? And I know Musa was dealing with a death in the family, right? So
Yeah, difficult time. I mean, we all go through it. I hate it for him, but obviously got the news today, probably around. I think shoot around was at 2:30, probably about 2:00. Got a call that a woman who's his aunt, but basically raised him, passed away, and I wasn't sure he was even going to be here today. I didn't ask him to come to the game. I told him to take whatever space and time he needed. but he needed to be with his team, and said that if you need me to go in, I'll go in. But it was a difficult spot for him to be in, and I'm just proud that he was able to at least get outside of himself a little bit to think about his team. But obviously our prayers are with him. Bryce Thompson was on a break glass in case of emergency, and we almost broke the glass tonight. I told the guys on the radio that he was only going to go in if I thought about putting myself in first, and I got pretty close. So, but he's getting better. I went back and watched the film. He took a pretty good shot right in his hip pointer with a knee last week, and just been trying to get it healthy again. And when we know more about his availability, we'll play him. Obviously, he dressed, but he wasn't much of an option to us tonight.
Is that what led to the starting lineup change, or is that some of the
Practice
grueling
led to the start lineup change.